I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're
East
Eastside
Side
Vibes. Today we're doing something a little different. I love like Spanish music, and I wanted to check out an album or get you to check out an album that's in the Spanish language world.
Yes.
And that's Orquídeas by Kelly Uchis. And before we get into it, I wondered if you even knew anything about her, if you've heard of her before this.
I knew nothing about her. So, as always, I had to look up stuff. Just a couple quick things to go through. First of all, she was born in Virginia, which I found was really interesting. But she visited her parents' native Colombia a lot. So, you can hear that. That's what her music is. You can definitely hear that. She's worked with a lot of big collaborators, which I was really surprised by, with Tyler, the Creator, the Gorillaz, Snoop Dogg, and her Grammy nominations. She had one on her own, but the other ones were collaborations with other people. So I didn't realize she's done so much in her short life.
Yeah, I know she's like late 20s, so she's not that old.
Yeah, not at all. Actually, she's your age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think it said I think I read she's from Alexandria.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know if you knew, that's DC. So she's basically from DC.
Okay, from DC, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, she grew up there, but spent a lot of her childhood in Colombia, where her family's from. I think they were like a Spanish-speaking household, and a lot of her music's in Spanish.
Yes.
So I didn't know a ton about Kelly Uchis before this. I have heard of her for years. The first time I heard anything with her is actually in one of my favorite albums. It's on the song Carmelo Duro, which is on Miguel's War and Leisure album.
Okay.
And then the next time I heard her was on She's My Collar. You mentioned it, by the Gorillaz. That's on the Humans album, another album that I love. So, but for some reason, even though I like a lot of Spanish music, I just never really checked out her music.
Right.
Like through the years, I've heard the song she has with Tyler, the Creator, and...
Is she singing Spanish or English in those songs?
Both.
Okay.
Like sometimes it's in Spanish and sometimes it's in English in her features.
Okay.
So she's extremely versatile.
Correct.
And like I said, for some reason I never really looked into her. But I heard, so she had, I don't know if you saw, she had an album come out early last year.
Yes,
Red
I saw
Moon
that.
and Venus.
Yep.
And at the time I saw like rave reviews for it, and for some reason I just never looked into it. And like now I listened to it recently, and it's really good. So I should have checked it out.
Yep.
But I was seeing, once again, this one was getting rave reviews, so I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna dive into. I've heard her, and I've heard her as a feature so many times. So I was like, I gotta, see what she's about. And so like we usually do, we're gonna go over some of our favorite songs and then talk about our opinion on the whole album at the end. And the first song that we picked is one of like my favorite ones. It's Igual que un Ángel, and it's featuring Peso Pluma.
Okay.
And so before we did this, I wanted to show my mom some Peso Pluma songs because she didn't know who that was.
Yeah, right before we started videotaping.
And I wanted to show how different what he does on this song is compared to like what he's known for.
It doesn't even sound the same.
Yeah, because he's known for that norteño music, or like Mexican folk. And his voice when he sings that kind of music is way more gruff and raspy, like
Right.
And he and he does not sound that way on this song at all. It's a little nasally.
Yes.
But
yes.
I think
definitely
one reason I like this song so much is I like the way his voice like flows with hers.
Yes.
It doesn't really contrast hers at all. One thing about Kelly Uchis, I've known this, she has a phenomenal singing voice.
Yes.
Like insane range. It doesn't come out on every single song. But on the songs it does, it really pops. And on this song has great vocals from her.
Correct.
And I think that he like matches her energy.
Okay.
It's the style of song, I would say it's like, so the first like half of the album kind of has like a disco feeling, and this song has a disco sound. It's like a very retro. I think when I wrote about it, I said that it kind of reminded me of like the Bee Gees or maybe like that
Donna
kind.
Summer.
I was gonna say like Diana Ross a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not Donna Summer. She was a little more like vibrant.
Yeah, she was.
But more like Diana Ross, or like, I think the Bee Gees was a really good comparison. And for like the meaning of the song, it means like he's an angel. It's kind of about like being in love, and I know you're really into lyricism. It's like a really sweet song. They're like singing about being in love with each other. And yeah, I think the main reason I will say, there's other moments in the album where I think she takes the she's the star, but the main reason I do like this one is probably because of Peso Pluma.
Okay.
And I think it's really cool that he showed like this side of him, and I wouldn't mind hearing. I know he's probably not going to do it, but I wouldn't mind hearing him do this kind of music in the future, because it does work. It just shows how versatile it is,
right.
Or how versatile he is. He can definitely do it. But yeah, the second song we picked is Muñequita, and that's featuring El Alfa and JT. And this was one of my mom's picks, so I'll let you get into why you like this one so much.
Well, Muñequita actually means, I gotta remember, little dolly.
Yeah.
And
so if you didn't know this, like ito or ita usually means little or small. Like when someone says, like, if there's like a name, like Marcelino would be a good name. It's like little Marcel.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why the kita, like that literally means little doll.
He's good at this, that's for sure. Basically, in the three songs I picked, they're kind of similar. Basically, she wants a man to almost, I want to say, spoil her and buy her things and do things for her and all that kind of stuff. And if he does that, she will continue to love him. It's not like she doesn't love him because he doesn't do it, but she's kind of like, hey, if you do this stuff for me, I'm really going to continue to love you. I said, and I just got to flip this a little bit. I said that the beat gets you moving. I mean, you're like, do, do, do. But then, how do you say his name? El Alfa. When he brings in his chicka 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 chicka, oh my gosh, like there's a lot of beat changes through this song, and I loved it. I really loved him in this song. I thought he was fantastic. But I liked that. I liked that beat change a lot. It really got me moving with the song.
So I probably would have picked this one if you didn't. I thought it was funny. I was wondering if you would like this because Al Alfa, he's like a dembow, or like it's like a bachata version of dembow. It's like Dominican dembow music.
Okay.
And he's considered like the king of dembow.
Okay.
And this song, like I showed you a couple of his songs sound a lot like this. She definitely fed into like his sound.
Yes, because even after he does that,
but I love her voice on this.
Yeah, when he does that cheeky cheeky, her beat changes too to match that.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I think the way, because he has such like a crazy voice, and I think the way that like her voice pops on this instrumental like makes it hit really hard.
Yes.
It makes it really fun and like vibrant. JT is also on the song, and I mean, I don't really remember her verse that much. It's okay. I don't know if you liked it that much.
Yeah, no, I was into
fine.
those two. Yeah.
But for the main reason this song is so good is probably, I mean, one, it's because it's an Al Alfa style dembow song, but also like the way that they bounce off of each other.
It's fantastic. Good song.
Yeah, it's really cool. The third song we picked is No Haile Part 2.
Okay.
That's like There's No Law, if you didn't know that. And it's kind of saying there's no laws in love.
Okay.
And this style, so
you say it's also a part 2.
Yeah.
So where's part 1?
I think it was on the album from last year.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this is another song that's interesting where the style of like instrumental is more leans into like the artist of like the feature. So I forgot to mention it, features Raul Alexandro.
Okay.
And which I don't know if you knew this, he was Rosalia's boyfriend.
Oh.
They just broke up.
Okay.
But
sorry.
But anyway, his music, it sounds a lot like this. It's definitely inspired by 80s like pop music.
Okay.
Like stuff like Madonna, like a little bit of a mixture of like Madonna and I'd say like in excess maybe, or
Oh,
like
love In Excess.
that. I was surprised you didn't pick this one because it does remind me a lot of that kind of music.
I love In Excess. I just have to side note, apparently this Madonna concert that's going around, crazy good. Crazy good.
I mean, it's
is what I've heard.
It's Madonna.
I know it is Madonna.
So
I'm sure she's not coming to Milwaukee, but yeah, I heard it's good. On a side note.
But yeah, this song has like one reason I like his music. It feels like a modern, almost like spatial or atmospheric version of that. Like I say, like to me, it's inspired by 80s. You may not think that as much because the melody is definitely like very modern.
Yes.
But the beat is like
I have to go back because now you're saying In Excess, so now my brain's whirring.
The beat is I'm trying to think of what that style of music is called. I'm blanking. But anyway, I think that her voice on this song is phenomenal. Like he's okay, but she's the one that that really draws me in.
She drives the song.
I really like her like the way she like plays with like the melody on the chorus. It makes it like it's almost like sing-songy in that.
Yep.
It feels really sweet and makes you want to dance. But yeah, like the other, like the last song, I would say that Muñequita, El Alfa she's great on it too, but he's the main reason that it probably pops and sing with the first song we picked with Peso Pluma. But in this case, I think that Kelly Uchis is the one that pops.
Okay.
And her feature kind of plays off of her, which is interesting because the song or the instrumental feels like something that would be made by her feature.
Okay.
Shows, like how wide-ranging and diverse she can be.
Okay.
With her sound. The next one we picked is Labios Mordidos, and that's featuring Karol G. And this song, I would be very surprised if this doesn't end up being like oh, by the way, it means like bitten lip or like lipped lips. Okay. It's like a very like sensual song.
Oh yeah, they all really are.
That's
very much
true.
So.
But even through the title of this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this song, I would be very surprised if it doesn't end up being like a major hit, like a club hit.
Maybe like a Grammy nominated hit or something too.
I think it's something that like you would go to the bar or the club and like they would play it. Like a lot of Bad Bunny's biggest hits. This reminds me of that. This is very inspired by old school reggaeton.
Okay.
Like the instrumental reminds me of like, I'm sure you've heard like Gasolina.
Yes.
Like early 2000s like Daddy Yankee or like Don Omar music.
Yeah.
That's what this instrumental reminds me of a lot. And Karol G does a lot of that kind of music.
Okay.
So I would say like this leans more into like what she's known for, because I don't think that Kelly Uchis has made a lot of reggaeton in the past.
I don't know.
That's from what I've heard from her. She makes more like Latin pop music, and reggaeton is a little more like hip hop based, obviously.
Right. I mean that the nominations she's had have all been not reggaeton, the songs, because I was listening to them. So yeah, this is new for her, maybe. Yeah,
I would say this is like, and again, I think that, I mean, Karol G is good on it, but she's the main reason this song. I love her, like, I don't know, her tone, I guess. It's very, like, almost like hypnotic.
Yes. She has some songs where her voice is really hypnotic.
Yeah. And it, like, and there are other songs where she has, like, a hypnotic tone where, like, it almost feels like, I was saying, like, background music or, like, studying music. This one, like, it like makes you want to dance. It's because of the beat, but like how it's almost like her voice, even though there is a melody, her voice is the melody.
Elevator music is what I called it, but not really.
This I don't know. It's very her vocals get you moving just as much as the beat, which is really interesting because the beat is very good. Like I said, it's like old school reggaeton.
Right. Well, we talked about the beginning part of this album too was not as I don't know if you would, if enthusiastic, that's not the word I'm looking for,
That might
but
be a word.
it's very, it's just calming.
Yeah.
And we're saying that maybe for people who don't know her, they may have listened to the first part and been turned off, but you really have to listen to this whole album because she starts to amp it up, like the beat, and you're like you said, you just start to move.
I think one of the reasons these songs pop so much, besides Igual que un Angel, that's in the beginning of the album, and it does have like the first like 7 songs like have like that sound.
Right.
That's the one that stuck out to me.
Right.
But it's mainly because of him, to be honest.
Okay.
But the second half of the album is a lot like, it's a lot more inspired by like various types of Hispanic or Latin music. And there are a lot more upbeat songs for the most part.
Yes.
And I think they pop more because of what happens on the beginning. So, like, you're right, you have to listen to the whole thing.
You do.
Because those songs will, like, hit even harder.
Yeah.
After they come after, like, so many, like, and they're not slow, but they're, like, calm.
No.
Like, it's calmer songs.
Those, I mean, the last songs, like you were saying, the one song was more, like, study, like, music. Well, if you listen to these while you're studying, you're not going to get your work done because you really want to just stand up and start dancing, the later songs. Yeah.
Like, Labios Mordidos is one where, like, you almost, like, can't, like, stay still when it comes on.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, I don't know, the rhythm is so good, and her voice, and it's a really good song, in my opinion. The 5th one we picked, this is the only slower song on the second half of the album.
As I was complaining about slow songs to him.
But, I know, she was like, I liked all the more upbeat ones. I'm like, you picked, like, the slowest song on the whole album. Like, there's, like, no beat on this.
Yeah,
but
not.
It's Heladitos.
Right.
And this was one of my mom's picks, so I'll let you talk about why you like it.
Heladitos means ice cream, and
not ice cream in the food.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Again, they're all the songs are sensual. They just are. Again, it's about her relationship with a guy, and again, him buying her and giving her what she wants, and then that's like, just kind of it.
One theme that's interesting, there's a few songs where she talks about how she knows she's like the shit.
Oh yeah.
So she's kind of like, you have to give me more because I can already get all these things.
Right. I said my favorite.
I can afford these things.
The best line, and I apologize if I don't say it correctly, is "No soy pop star, pero sí soy internacional," which means I'm not a pop star, but I am international. So it's like, she's got that like, hey, I am who I am.
I'd say she's a pop star.
Yeah, she says she's international.
International pop star.
There you go. But yeah, that's like the best line to me because it really brings out what you said, that she's like, I am it. And, if so, you got to be for me because I'm it.
Did you like this one for the lyricism or like for how it sounds?
For both of them, actually. Okay. Really for both of them. I mean, I liked that it was a calmer song, definitely, but the lyrics, when I was reading that, and obviously I had to do my translations for me, the lyrics I thought were just fantastic throughout that whole song, just how they were. She put it together great.
I thought you would have liked this one. I think I'm getting so when we started doing this, I thought I knew what kind of music you liked, and then I realized maybe I didn't. And now I'm like figuring it out. I figured you would pick this one.
Oh.
Because when I wrote about it, it reminded me a lot of like Amy Winehouse or maybe like Nina Simone.
Okay.
And you used to play like those artists growing up.
Yep.
So,
for him. Yep.
Yeah, so like I figured like a song with like that like old, like jazzy. I would say this has a little bit of a bossa nova feeling, which is like Latin jazz.
Yes, definitely.
So it leans a little more towards the bossa nova side, but I can also definitely hear like American R&B and jazz in there.
100%. I think part of it she sings in English too. Like here and there she does. So,
and her vocals remind me of Amy on this one.
Oh, very much.
And that's one
great
reason
singer.
why the
Sad
song,
story, great singer.
That's one reason why it pops so much, I would say. Then, so the last song we picked is another one my mom's picked, the last song on the album. It's Dame Besos / Muévete. It's like a part song.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll let you get into why you like this one so much.
So that song means "Give Me a Kiss." And when I was looking into it, I actually saw that Selena had a song called "Dame un beso," which means "Give me a kiss" as well. And that really got me thinking. Then, so as I was listening to it, I really, in my opinion, got a lot of Selena feel to it. But I also, and this was just me at the very beginning, the way that the music is going, it reminded me of a Gloria Estefan song. I can't remember what it is, but it just had that, I think maybe Rhythm Is Gonna Get You or something. It got you going, but then it changes, the beat changes to be her own. And again, I really got a Selena vibe out of this one. Again, the same idea of, she wants a lot of kisses, and stuff like that. So, and apparently when Selena, with that song, her brother actually, with Dame un Besos, her brother was actually tired of the music the dad was writing because it was very calm. And so he's like, we got to amp it up. So one of her brothers wrote that song. And I guess the dad wasn't real happy about it at first, but because hers was the same thing as, I'm going to give you kisses if you show me love.
Yeah.
And that's really what you see happening in the song that we're talking about.
So did you only like the first half, or do you like the second half?
No, I like the whole song. Yeah.
The second
I like
half
the
is
whole
called,
song.
it's a Muovete, or
Yeah.
Move.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, I wonder if you're mainly getting the Selena thing. I know I'm funny, I'm wearing a Selena shirt. I wonder if you're mainly getting it from the title, because I'm a huge Selena fan, and I don't hear her at all in this.
Yeah,
I know I showed you
yeah.
I showed you the song Suavemente, which I thought you would know, but I guess not.
No.
But this song is definitely inspired by like merengue music. It's
Yes.
like a merengue sound.
Yeah, he did say that. And in Selena's song, there's no merengue. It's a different feeling completely.
She does have upbeat music, but it was
definitely.
more bachata.
Yeah.
This is like definitely merengue.
Yeah, and Selena's was like her first album, I almost want to say. It was from a long time ago.
Her, and then the second half of this song is a different kind of merengue.
Correct.
I believe it's called Periotipico.
Yep.
It's like classic merengue, like the kind that came from Cuba in like the late 1880s.
It's great.
Very accordion driven music. I said it reminds me a little bit of like Italian music, because a lot of Italian music is driven by the accordion.
Yep.
And I would say I like the first half, but I would say I like the second half more, because the first half reminds me a lot of just like normal modern merengue songs, and she's good on it, but like there's other songs I like that have that style.
Right.
But the second half, like the more classic merengue, is not very common anymore.
No, it's not. I bet you didn't know your grandma can play the accordion.
Oh, no.
Side story.
But yeah, so I would say the second half of the song, the Muovete, is probably what like drew me in. I think it is a good song, though.
I wasn't putting the connection to merengue in a lot of what we were talking about, and then I'm like, yeah, that's maybe why I really like it, because I love the merengue beat. Oh, it's fantastic. That's probably why. And I was saying that I had once gone to a wedding of my husband's friend, and they were playing songs similar to this. I had no idea what they were saying, but it got you moving. I mean, it's great music to listen to.
It's like meant for like parties, and like it's meant to like get people going. It's like feel good music.
It's great.
But so we can get into how we felt about the album as a whole. I'll let you talk about like how you felt before I give my opinion.
Okay. So again, I knew nothing about her going into this at all. Then when I started to listen, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do my research and find out what the songs mean. The first part of the album, as we said, it was just different. It was slower for at least us or me. And like if I were to score that part, I would probably score it at like a 6. the beginning part.
Yeah.
But when it starts to get faster and you get that merengue in it, I really liked that. So for that part, I might give it like a 7.5.
Yeah, so like when I wrote about it, one, I don't like if you're not as into like that more like rhythmic or like slower style in the beginning, I could see you like not liking that as much. One thing I appreciate in albums is when things flow together super well.
Yes.
And in the first half, like every song literally like transitions into the next one.
Correct.
And I think that's pretty cool. I would say it's almost like music you would play while you're like working or studying or something.
Yeah, you can
like
just
background music.
You can listen to the whole album while you're doing work or something, and you have to listen to the whole album. Yeah.
And the second half like pops so much because the first half is softer. As a whole, you know, like I actually like this better than the 21 Savage album. I gave it like high 7s because I just think it like flows together really well, and the good songs pop so much more. Whereas like I don't like for me. There's a lot of songs I probably wouldn't listen to like again like normally, but I don't think there's any duds.
No, there's no bad songs on this at all. It's just what you like more, and I liked the pop music more.
Yeah, there's
poppy.
Where like sometimes there are like duds that drag the whole thing down. For me, there's nothing on here that does that.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah, so I gave it like maybe like a 7.7, 7.8.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how we feel about Kali Uchis' Orquídeas. Like I said, I wanted to I don't know, I want to like expand what we do more. I wanted to show you something, you know, a little different, and hopefully we can go into some more Spanish stuff in the future when it comes out.
I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot of music now, and it's kind of funny when I talk to older like students or stuff like that, and they'll be like 21. I'm like, I'm listening to 21 Savage, like you know, or something like this as well. They're like, wow, you're like hip, you're getting with it.
So next week, I think we're going to do it, you know, it's actually not a new album. I think we're going to do After Hours by The Weeknd, because I'm surprised that you haven't heard that whole album.
Nope.
I love that one, because I know you have heard Dawn FM.
Yes.
And the trilogy is supposed to end soon, so I figure we should do that before it comes out. Because there also wasn't a lot of, like, other new stuff that's come out recently that I thought we could listen to. There's something else that's coming out next week.
Okay.
That I think we could do. But
well, you brought up that there's almost more drama amongst musicians
there's a lot of
right
music drama right now.
Instead of new music.
Which I guess makes sense a little bit because like usually the beginning of the year is a little slower, and maybe people are trying to drum up drama to make whatever they release later this year.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, that's a good point.
Hit more. It's all about like getting people engaged and less about the music.
Yeah, getting yourself noticed before it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how we feel about Kali. Like I said, Kali Uchis' Orquídeas. We'll close this out. I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
We're Eastside Vibes. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.